Hello fellow writers, my name is Laura and welcome to my channel where I talk about the mental challenges of being a writer. And if you're returning, I'm glad that you've taken some time from your writing in order to come and see me. Today is a topic that I consider pretty important. We're going to be talking about how to get back into writing after you have taken a break, whether it is intentional or not intentional. First off, this happens to everyone at some point or another. Life gets in the way sometimes. It throws stuff at you. Work gets really busy. Somebody gets sick. You get sick. And then your writing just kind of falls by the wayside. That doesn't necessarily mean that something bad happened. It could be good. It could be like a holiday, family coming to visit, just something where you have something else that you need to dedicate your time to. I spent the beginning of this year in a place where I just could not write anything. I needed to focus on self-care and survival. You may or may not have been in the same boat that I was, but I definitely was not doing a ton of writing at the beginning of the year. And at a certain point, I realized that I wanted to get back into writing. And that's usually the first step of getting back into writing after some sort of an absence is you feel the need to write. This is a thing that writers do. We feel the need to write. And so, it was on pause for a little while, and now we are getting ready to go back into writing. The important thing that I want to talk about, the bit that I think that I can help people out with, is that a lot of times when you come back from some sort of a break, there's some sort of strong emotion in the space about the lack of writing. It can be common to feel shame or guilt or even anger because you didn't get writing done, right? Like, I could have gotten writing done, but this thing happened and I didn't. Now, if this emotion spurs you to get back into writing, that's okay. You can use it, right? These are emotions that you are feeling. They're not bad. They're just emotions that you're feeling. At the same time, you don't want the negative emotions to keep you from then writing, right? If, there's a difference between feeling the emotion. So it's like, I feel ashamed that I did not write for a month. And then there's, oh my gosh, I'm such a horrible person because I didn't write for this whole long time, and I could have written 10,000 words or 15,000 words by this point, and I didn't do it, and now I'm behind on my goals, and I'm just never going to get this book done, and blah blah blah, and it keeps going, right? We've all had these things go on in our heads, right? But when it gets to that point, you're dwelling on it, and that doesn't help anything, right? You are not making any progress toward anything. If you're dwelling on the motion and it doesn't encourage you to go back to your writing, you're just being miserable, right? And I want to encourage you to notice when you are dwelling and to not do that. It can be sometimes not quite that easy, but First of all, you have to notice that you are dwelling as opposed to just feeling, and you just have to realize that that time is lost. It's gone. It is not coming back, and that's okay, right? Yes, you've lost out on some writing time, but when you spend more time dwelling and feeling shame, feeling upset about the time that you lost, and so you lose more time, that's ironic time loss, and we really don't want ironic time loss. Once you've come to grips with the fact that you have lost that time and you can feel whatever you need to feel about that and then move on, it's time to get back into the story or whatever it is you were working on. And depending on how long it's been, you might not be able to just jump back into it and start writing wherever it is that you left off. You need to take into account the fact that you haven't written in a while. And that might mean that you need to go back and read the story, familiarize yourself with the story. Maybe it's a thing for you to do an outline and kind of see where you are and where you want to go, depending on your writing style, right? This is one of those things where you're kind of going to have to figure out what your writer's intuition is and be aware of what you need to get back into a story. You might be one of those people who can just jump back into it after like a month of not having done anything. If you can, great, right? Then once you're comfortable that you have gotten back into your story, you want to make new goals for progressing again. They might not be whatever they were like beforehand, because remember, you haven't been writing for however long. You might need to build yourself back up. But over time, you're going to figure out better and better what it is you need to do to get back into writing. Because the truth of the matter is this going to happen? I mean, it just is going to happen. And that's why I think it's so important to kind of have a plan for, okay, I haven't written in a month, I haven't written in 3 months, whatever it is, so that you can get back into writing without having to, like, waste more time dealing with the emotions of it, or dealing with the like getting back into it, or any of that kind of stuff. You're going to develop your process for that the more that you work at it. So remember that you want your goals to be achievable and sustainable, not what you think you should be doing, not some sort of goal that's like, well, I haven't written in a month and so I want to catch up on 1,500 words, this week, when that's not, something that you ever do, right? Make your goals and work your way back up. You always want to set yourself up to succeed. And if you're currently in a period where you have let your writing goals get behind you, maybe you are still writing but you don't have goals, or you don't have any kind of goals that you're working toward, use this as an opportunity to reset. You can also reset when you are already writing, but to focus it more by making goals so that you have something that you are aiming for, and then something that you can reward yourself for making those goals. If you like this video, go ahead and like this video. If you'd like to see more of my tips on the mental challenges of being a writer, go ahead and subscribe, and I will be adding more videos weekly. And happy writing. I will see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye-bye.